Pawn Stars is a popular television show about the Harrisons and their pawn shop located in Las Vegas, Nevada. Most people come to pawn shops because they are in need of extra money, so of course the Pawn Stars are going to take advantage of that opportunity and try to lowball the customers. The pawnbroker's favorite thing to say is they have to make a profit too. While of course this is true, sometimes I feel like the Pawn Stars are taking advantage of the customers, but hey, that's just me. And in today's video, we are going to talk about 5 times the Pawn Stars scam the customers. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel for future videos like this. Any fan of Madonna's would be ecstatic if they were offered one of her old personal day planners, including the dates for video shoots or recording sessions, as well as the phone numbers of a number of Hollywood stars. Corey, on the other hand, was nothing but shocked that owner Robert was hoping to get $25,000 for his 1998 diary.
I'm asking $25,000 for the book.
Really?
Really?
He called Steve Grad for help, and while he confirmed that the day planner had indeed belonged to Madonna, he valued it at about $10,000 to $12,000. For some reason, Corey then decided to offer just $4,000, insulting every Madonna fan, including his customer.
I'd give you like $4,000 for it.
It's insulting, to be honest with you. It's worth a lot more than that. I'd go down to 20.
Who pointed out that he had been offered a lot more than $10,000, while Robert was willing to go down to 20. Corey was stuck at 5, and a deal was never made. The guys at the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop are offered fairly unique sports memorabilia on a regular basis, so they usually don't get too excited about the items that are brought into their shop. However, they also know how well some of these things sell, so when a customer offered them a Lou Gehrig signed baseball jersey with the appropriate authentication, they were pretty interested. The owner initially asked for $10,000, but soon went down to $7,000. Despite having had the jersey and its signature authenticated by 3 different reputable companies, Corey lowballed them with an offer of just $2,000, saying that he needed to make a profit. Despite owner Kevin saying that he would heartbreakingly do it for $5,000, Corey had no mercy and wouldn't go higher than $3,000. Since Kevin was desperate for cash, he unfortunately had no choice but to accept the last offer.
Really don't want to do it at 3, but with the economy the way it is and needing the money, I'll let it go at 3.
All right, deal.
In the very first episode of Pawn Stars, a customer brought Rick an 1890 Hotchkiss 2-pound cannon that an expert in cannon restorer checked out and later even tested at the shooting range. After Rick asked how much he could pay for the cannon and still make money, the expert replied, "I would say $40,000 all day long." The customer was pretty happy, saying that he only expected to get $30,000.
$40,000 all day long.
Oh, wow. That's good for me. I expected about 30.
Which admittedly didn't give you the best starting point for negotiations, but Rick also accepted this price immediately, which probably meant that there would have been some room for negotiations. So the customer basically cheated himself out of some money in this case. If you watch Pawn Stars on a regular basis, you know that one of Rick's most frequent customers is Adam, who often brings in extremely valuable books. When he came to Rick in season 10with the 5th edition copy of the Book of Mormon, printed in 1842, and the last edition to be printed while the religious founder Joseph Smith was still alive, Rick decided to call in his rare book expert to appraise its value. Rebecca Romney had good news for both Adam and Rick, as she estimated the book to be worth $40,000, considering it is not just of interest of Mormon collectors, but also a historical document of America's most successful homegrown religion. Adam, who had hoped to get $25,000 for his treasure, eventually agreed to sell it for $24,000, which was still one of the highest payouts in the pawn shop's history. And Rick surely made a huge profit by beating down Adam's more than fair price by another grand. In season 14, a man entered the world-famous Gold and Silver Pawn Shop with a Leroy Neiman painting called Happy Birthday, Mr. President, that showed the moment when Marilyn Monroe famously sang to President John F. Kennedy during his birthday bash wearing a super provocative dress. The customer was looking to get $6,000 for the painting, but Corey decided to call an expert Chad to check it out before making an offer. Chad believed that a high retail price for the painting could probably be $7,500. Well, a more realistic retail price was probably around $6,000. Based on this, Corey made an offer of just $2,500, using the same excuse as always. He eventually struck a deal with the customer at $3,000, meaning the guy got only half of what the painting is actually worth, and even though the shop obviously has to make a profit, it is pretty ridiculous to claim that framing a painting and paying someone to sell it will cost them that much money, so Corey could have surely made the guy a better offer than he did. And that's all we have for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching, and we will see y'all next time.